through how you can actually create a business page from scratch. Now, I know most of you guys have business pages. That's great. This may lend you to building another page for another purpose. But we'll go through that in the first few minutes. Then I'm going to go through and give you some setup tips. There is a little bit of strategy with that, so I'll take you through some of that. And then Facebook came out with some new call to action features about a month ago, and I'm just going to take you through how to set that up. And I think the 10 to 15 minutes will be worth your time. So, let's say you're on Facebook, your personal page. What you can do is click this drop-down arrow in the upper right-hand corner and click the Create Page button. Then what you want to do is you want to make sure you select local business or place. The category you're probably going to want to select is business services. So let me just kind of put together this one page here. I'm actually building it for a client, and it'll give you a good idea of kind of how to set it up. So again, just putting in the basic information for the agency, basic contact information. If you do have a P.O. box, maybe you work from home, what I would do initially is put that P.O. box in. You can remove it later on, but to sign up, they are going to require that you do put in an actual address. So when you start off, put that address in, and that'll obviously make things a lot easier moving forward. Okay, so I'm almost done with this initial sign-up part. So again, Facebook is going to ask for some basic info. You're going to click the Get Started button. And then what's going to happen is Facebook is going to kind of put you through the setup wizard. So for insurance, you're going to want to definitely type in insurance agents. I would clarify yourself as that. They're going to ask for kind of a quick little overview. You can either put what you focus and specialize in, or you can put your mission statement, which these guys have done. And then you want to hit Save Info. The next thing they're going to do is they're going to ask you to kind of put in your main icon. I've already kind of selected it, so it's on my computer. I'm just going to find it and obviously put it on. Now, I'll give you some tips here in a second. What they're going to do now is basically ask you to set up some pay-per-click marketing. I'm a big believer that that's not worth your guys' time in the insurance industry, so you just want to skip through that stuff, and then it's going to take you to your page. And this is where I'm going to, obviously give you a little bit more advanced strategy. They do a good job at kind of hitting you with a million pop-ups. I like to just click Next and get through all of that stuff so I can think about what I want to do and set it up my way. The first thing, obviously, you want to do is have a background image here. And I see a lot of people who will have background images that are very blurry or they don't look good. The minimum size of this image is 800 by 300. So you want to make sure that when you're putting an image in there, it's at least this big. If it's smaller than this size, it's going to stretch it and make it blurry. And that's why a lot of people, you'll see they'll have images that just don't look good. So again, you want to make sure that the image you're putting in is certainly the right size. And these guys are Dave Ramsey endorsed, and they want to have this picture in here with their logo. So you can kind of see the page is starting to kind of take shape from an aesthetical standpoint. But the real strategy part of it is going to the About section. So you want to click the About section, and you want to click the Page Info section. So I guess my point is, and one of the things I've always stressed along the way, is I've always stressed that your profiles, whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter, personal pages, business pages, there's always a lot of value to getting these pages as complete as possible. One, when the client goes there, obviously it markets you professionally, but two, the more information you're putting into these pages, the more likely your page is going to be cross-marketed by Facebook, meaning your page could show up in all sorts of places you're not aware of. That's not going to happen unless your page is really complete. So you definitely want to make sure that the long description, you'll see it right here, has a pretty good overview about your agency. And I'm just going to kind of put this one in for this guy. And I think that becomes a pretty important part. So let's go through some stuff here. I know I just went through that really fast. I just wanted to get us to the point where I wanted to get us to the point where most of you guys are. The first thing you want to take a look at is the Facebook web address. And long story short, and I don't know if you can see it up here, but this is what the guy's web address is right now. It's facebook.com/pages/Jordan River Insurance / a ton of numbers. Facebook does give us the ability to create a custom address. They do require that you have 25 followers before you can set that up. But one of the things I've always been asked by people is what's my address? Well, you can definitely make it facebook.com/Bob's Insurance if you want. You just have to have 25 fans, and then you come to this area, Facebook web address, and you can change it. In the past, Facebook only let us change it once. That's not the case. You can change it as many times as you want. So I highly suggest that. That will help search engine optimization. The second thing that you probably want to do as a sales venue, you probably want to have your hours of operation in here. So you'll see it right here. And what you can do is probably want to have it say open for selected hours, and you click on the add hours, and then you can easily put in, I just typed 8 and I'm going to type 5. So now I'm open 8 to 5, and I'm going to select Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and hit add. And now that's that guy's hours. So I would highly suggest putting your work hours in. Again, he's got a short description. He's got a long description. That's good. You probably don't need a price range. You definitely should have your email address. You definitely should have your website in here. I'll put that in later for this guy. And that, to me, makes a ton of sense. So what you can do at this point is go back and click the page button in the upper right-hand corner. And if you click the About button and the Page Info button, this is kind of what it looks like for the user. So it's important to get a feel for that look and understand kind of how it works. Now, one of the new features on Facebook, and I'll take you guys to my page, one of the new features that Facebook has come out with is called the Call to Action feature, and you'll see it right here. Hopefully my artwork is good. And it's basically a simple button that you can set up really quick on your page. So if I click on it, you'll see that they give me a few choices. Right now it's defaulted to Shop Now, but we could certainly set it to Sign Up. So one of the things maybe I'll do here, guys, and just bear with me for a second, is I will send them to my sign-up page, right? Makes sense. So what I can do is get my company sign-up page, here it is, and go into the Facebook page and hit, put that address in. So basically the sign-up button is going to go to my sign-up page. I'm going to hit Next a few times and hit Create. And now there's what is called a Call to Action button right on the page, and you can see it right here. So if someone clicks the Sign Up button, they're going to go right to my sign up page. Now for you guys, you may want to kind of put just a link to your website, maybe a link to your consultation page. Unfortunately, to my knowledge, let's see, you don't really have the ability to customize the name of the button. So you probably want to just have the Contact Us button and have it go to your consultation page, or maybe your Shop Now button, go to your Request a Quote page. That would be my suggestion. Again, it's just a little thing, but I think you never know when people are hitting your page. So I guess my initial tips were, one, make sure that your page looks clear and is set up correctly. One of the common mistakes I see is people's big picture here is blurry. That's never acceptable. In this day and age, you want it to look good. Two, go into the About section and make sure that you have at least put in /benefitstore.net. One of the most common questions I get, and unfortunately this is a reality, is I have had people say, hey, look, we got a few reviews, And let me kind of slow it down for a second. You'll see that I have kind of a review section here where I've had 17 people review me. And everyone has been giving me 5 out of 5 stars, which is fantastic. But I do have people who will call up and say, hey, look, I got a review. The guy was a jerk. He was an old client, whatever. He gave me 0 stars. How do I get rid of that review? Well, there is a way to get rid of the review. You actually can turn the reviews off. And it's not the easiest thing to find. But if you go to the About section and then click on, you know what, actually, click on the Page Info section and then go to your address and hit Edit. At the bottom here, and I don't know why they make it this hard to find, maybe it's intentional, at the bottom is a little thing, a checkbox that says Show Map, Show Check-ins, and Show Ratings and Reviews. If you uncheck that, your reviews will disappear, and they won't be on your page. I had a guy who was in tears, basically, and we took it off, and he felt better. So you can take them off, is my point, and that certainly is important for your page setup. So again, today's webinar, just kind of giving you guys an overview on creating business pages. It's good that you have one for your agency and your company, but I do see a lot of people now in this day and age who will build them for community events. They'll build them for niches that they're trying to accomplish. So once you guys start to feel more comfortable with this stuff, these are ways, again, to create an audience and to drip on them. I think the one thing that we tend to forget is the power of Facebook is people are addicted to it, right? Once people stop paying attention, it loses its value. But 200 million Americans are addicted to it. It's great that you have a personal page. We talked about that last week. But the personal page projects you as a person. It's important to project your company and your brand, and that the brand is good and the brand is the expert and the guru. That's why we have these company pages. And I think my point with today was to show you that it's important to have it set up correctly, because that's going to put you in a position to start to get results when you start to post. And we'll talk about posting strategy next week. So guys, I tried to keep it simple. I did record this. I will put it on YouTube shortly. I appreciate your time, and I'll talk to everyone next week. Thanks again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.